Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, Sugar Shane Mosley stops by to explain why he thinks Floyd Mayweather will toy with Conor McGregor, plus the latest reaction to the ongoing national anthem protests in the NFL. And are the Dallas Cowboys still contenders without Zeke? Skip, Shannon, let's debate. Well, let's get it started with Conor and Floyd. We're just 8 days away from the fight. This week, the Nevada State Athletic Commission said both fighters could wear smaller 8-ounce gloves. And last week, Dana White released footage of McGregor sparring with Paulie Malignaggi, and it looked like Conor knocked Paulie down. Floyd watched that footage and gave his opinion on Conor's boxing skills. Let's take a listen.
And my thoughts is, it was real interesting, but, a lot of rabbit punching, illegal rabbit punching behind the head. A lot of shots was illegal. A lot of grappling, a lot of wrestling, a lot of illegal shots. I mean, that's just my honest opinion. He had Joe Cortez in his training camp, which is a great thing. Even though he had Joe Cortez in his training camp, I still seen him being extremely dirty. But my job is not to worry about the referee. My job is to go out there and fight and let the referee do his job.
Shannon, why is Floyd saying this?
Well, I think the thing is, it's just like a basketball coach, Skip, you're trying to set the tone to let the referee know so he'll play maybe a little closer attention. That sometimes, Conor, when we get to the clinch and we're supposed to break away, he'll grab you by the back of the head and hit you with some rabbit punches. So I just want to put you on notice, Mr. Ref, that this is what's going on. And so I need you to pay a little close attention to it because, he's dirty. And he knows the only chance he has is to muddy the waters or muck it up, because if it's skill versus skill, just pure boxing, the sweet science of boxing,
sweet.
You already know what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
And so, Skip, what you try and do is that you just try and plant that seed. Skip, in 2000, when I was with the Ravens, everybody talks about the long touchdown run, but it was set up before.
Nobody talks about it. You talk about it. We hear about it every day. Nobody talks about it. Go ahead.
You gonna let me finish?
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
But they're talking about the 96-yard touchdown, but it was set up on the play before because Marquez Pope got there early. And I went to the back judge and I told him, I said, he got there early. He heard me tell the back judge.
Got where early? Marquez Pope.
Marquez Pope. He arrived early and knocked the ball down.
Okay, I got it.
I told the back judge, I said, he got there early. Now, he heard me tell him that. It's 3rd and 18. Now, the last thing he wants to do is get a ticky-tack foul and give us a first down.
Yeah.
So if you'll see on the catch, I don't know if we got DJ.
I knew it. I predicted it.
Skip, you see what he did? I don't know if you saw it. If we can go back one more time, Skip, he's right there in time. But what he does, he pulls his hands back because he doesn't want to get a pass interference call. And the next thing you know, it's still the longest offensive play in postseason.
Wait a second. We're talking about whether Conor McGregor is a dirty fighter or not, and all of a sudden we're showing you one highlight of your career.
No, I'm trying.
How do we get there?
No, I'm trying to tell you what he's trying to do. He wants the official to pay close attention to those cheap shots. You saw him grab Paulie by the back of the head and rabbit punch him about 5 or 6 times, Skip.
You still got that high knee action?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm going to put on. Hey, this is what I'm going to do to Jason Witten, Skip. Watch this. That's called pick him up, putting down.
Really?
What was that, 17 years ago?
I did check on this the other night. The Cowboys timed you. I think they actually went to Savannah State and timed you at 4.8.
No.
4.8?
No.
Really? No. How did you make it in the Hall of Fame at 4.8? Just curious about
because everybody else ran as fast as they can. I run as fast as I want to.
I got you. And by the way, who was the safety on that play?
Marquez Pope.
That was Marquez Pope.
Yes.
He took the worst angle on that play. What was wrong with him? You got him off guard.
Because he knew. Because Skip, I mean, it was 3rd and 18. We're on the 4-yard line. You get a 5-yard ticky-tack pass interference. Now it's first down. We get 3 more cracks at you. So he pulls his hands back, and now we get a long touchdown. So Florida said, look, you see what he's doing? Rabbit punching. He's in the clinch. He's trying to, this is not wrestling. This is not MMA. This is boxing. And you know what he's going to do. And you know what's going to happen, too.
Yeah.
Pop's going to have him a night suit.
Okay, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay, because I got to call a big timeout here.
Why?
Because I smell some heavy hypocrisy coming from Floyd's direction. I think this is the pot calling the kettle dirty. I think that's what we have here because Victor Ortiz sat right here not too long ago and called Floyd Mayweather Jr. a quote-unquote dirty fighter. because Victor said that Floyd very slyly, when he throws his left hook, will intentionally sort of just graze your jaw so that he can trail with that elbow and catch you across the jaw, bone on bone.
Actually trying to catch you across the brow.
That he hit him up high. That's true. And I think he cut Victor, and Victor readily admits he lost his poison, lost his cool, and lost his temper, and intentionally headbutted Floyd in a clinch sort of over in the corner, which led to him profusely apologizing to Floyd and hugging Floyd, and then going to the referee and saying, "I'm so sorry." And Floyd cold-cocked him, sucker punched him. Sucker punched him while he's apologizing to the referee? That's your lone knockout, quote unquote, since 1999? That's just dirty. That was double dirty.
How does a guy that can't crack an egg knock a guy out?
Because he got a running start and hit him twice with Victor not even looking. And I think Victor was more stunned than hurt by it because he kept his senses. You know, he didn't go completely unconscious. He said, "I felt my legs going out from under me and I couldn't stop." But the point is, I know it's protect or defend yourself at all times in boxing, but how many fighters, seeing that the opponent is trying to apologize to the referee for an intentional headbutt, would just sucker punch that guy? How many would do that? Not that many. Floyd would.
No, me too.
Oh, you would too. Okay, so you guys are together. You're a team. You're going to lead him into the ring. It's perfect.
Skip,
you're a perfect match.
Protect yourself at all times. You've hit, but Skip, you make it seem like Floyd was throwing the javelin when he hit Victor Ortiz. Oh, he got a running start.
He did.
No, Skip, the man stepped into it. Boom, boom. But he can't crack an egg because remember he told us, "Come on, champ, hit me again."
He let him hit him. What, 3 straight? He caught him the first time with a right, and then he just thought, did he hit me or not? I'm not sure if he hit me. Come on, champ, give me another. Boom, boom, boom. He can't crack an egg.
And then what happened? Boom, boom. He's like,
sucker, punch, punch. That's what happened. So back to Conor McGregor. He is not a dirty fighter. He just comes from a sport with far fewer rules than boxing has.
Okay.
Floyd keeps saying the Queensberry rules. Well, yeah, boxing does have rules, but Floyd is going to throw things. I tried to tell Senior this yesterday. I've been trying to explain this to you. Floyd is going to throw things Conor's going to throw things at Floyd that he's never seen before because Conor is completely unconventional. He didn't grow up in the sport of boxing, so it's not that he won't abide by the rules. He'll just, quote unquote, break conventional wisdom rules. He's going to throw stances and approaches and combinations at Floyd he's never seen before, but it's not going to be dirty. And by the way, speaking of little rabbit punches, I see it every boxing match I ever watch. When they get in the clinches, they're just doing this to each other. It's just commonplace.
No.
Floyd does it.
No, Floyd don't do that.
Yes, he does.
Floyd don't do that.
You know he does. And how many quote-unquote wrestling or grappling clinches do we see during a boxing match? Way too many. It's what I don't like about boxing. Because one way to sort of stall the ball, it's like going into a 4 corners, is just to grab the opponent around the head and let's dance for a while. Let's dance, let's get our breath for just a second.
Or you could do like Conor, just take off running around the ring when Nate Diaz was trying to catch him.
Running around the
ring?
He
was running from Nate Diaz.
Stand toe-to-toe in exchange and drop
Not the
Nate
last
Diaz.
round, you didn't see that.
I did see that.
Yeah, you saw him running.
Running?
Like you said, run.
Well, that's all Floyd ever does. So the point here is that if we step back from this, Floyd is up against a force that he's not calling, he's not complaining to the referee. He's just afraid. I believe that he's not trying to sell. He's not trying to sell tickets or pay-per-view buys. He's afraid of what's going to get thrown at him because now all he has is a little snippet. Now I don't know. Did Dana White share the whole tape with Floyd? I'm going to doubt it. The whole 12-round tape?
No.
I don't know that.
Because why would he do that and show Paulie Malignaggi kicking his butt? Because all we saw is 20 seconds.
We got to see Paulie's face when it was over. And we got to hear from Paulie that I found my rhythm in the middle rounds, but he came on late. That's what we heard from Paulie before he got mad about all that.
Well, after you done flew the man 5 hours across country and take him off a plane with no food, no water, and bring him to the gym and start sparring.
Oh, please.
Yeah. And the man had on Air Force Ones. You saw the man. He was
dehydrated. Yeah.
Dude had on some Nike Dunks.
They locked him in a closet and they kept him. They locked him in a closet out in the desert sun, right?
No. Yeah. They brought him straight from the airport, straight to the gym to spar, Skip. You know that wasn't right, Skip.
Yeah. And here's the problem, that Floyd is up against a man who's crazy, but he's smart crazy. High combat IQ, whatever you want to call fist fighting, whatever you want to call it, high IQ. So all of a sudden you're hearing Floyd, who gets scared before he was afraid of Pacquiao.
He was afraid of Pacquiao.
Yes, he was afraid. And he's afraid here because he doesn't know what he's up against, because he just saw a snippet. And so he's trying to, you're right, he's trying to plant seeds in the ref's head.
Yeah.
But by the way, speaking of the referee, I did not like the judges. I told you yesterday, because two of them are Floyd guys. They've done a bunch of Floyd fights.
They ain't no such thing as no Floyd guys.
It's in the bag if it goes 12
Skip,
rounds.
you don't get to bring your own judges.
Yeah, he did. He's bringing 2 Vegas judges. 2 guys who've done like 10 of his fights.
Skip, the man's fought almost 50 fights.
Yeah, I don't love that. But it's okay, because it's going to be ended before it goes to decision. And the point is, I love the referee, Robert Byrd. He was 30-plus years California Highway Patrol, and he's tough but fair. He doesn't have a big ego. He's not one of those star referees who has to sort of like be the center of attention.
Yes.
And by the way, my cousin Kenny Bayless should have had this bout because he gets all the big ones, but he made the mistake early on when the fight was first made of saying he does not see the point in it. So he disqualified himself. Unfortunately, he's not going to be the referee here. Robert Byrd, who's known as a tough guy who keeps difficult to ref fighters in line, will be all over this one.
That's what I like.
I think it'll be perfectly refereed, because I want Floyd not to be allowed to get away with his illegal tactics, such as the trailing elbow across the brow.
There will be no 8th grade prom slow dancing with Conor trying to grab and hug us.
I think it might be the other way around.
Floyd going to put the things on him.
Yeah, the things is going to be coming for Floyd, because here's the point. Conor disclosed it. He just laid it right out on the table right away in the first media session. He said, he even told Senior, he's too little. He's just too little. Remember, he said, little head, little torso, little legs, little legs. He does, he's little.
Skip, you making it seem like Conor McGregor is Andre the Giant or the Big Show.
He's
5'8", 155 pounds.
Much longer. He'll probably weigh 170 by fight time, and he is coming for Floyd.
But you remember he said he changed his tactics. Yeah, he's going to be leaner. He says he's not going to go balloon back up like he normally would for an MMA fight.
You buying that?
Don't matter.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But I also don't buy the fact Floyd said again yesterday, I'm coming straight ahead. No, he's not going to come straight ahead. He's going to go straight backward the whole fight. And guess who's going to be in hot pursuit? Will be Conor McGregor. Here he comes, attacking unconventionally, different stances, Greco-Roman wrestling stances. You can call them whatever you want. And Floyd's going to be like, what? And to boot, the guy's left-handed.
Okay.
Floyd's had a little trouble with left-handers, not a lot.
That's why he keeps that right high in the shoulder roll. He's protected against that.
So here we come, and he's going to bully Floyd. He's going to attack Floyd in ways Floyd has never been attacked, because you just throw the boxing rules out the window. Not that he's dirty. He's just not conventional. He's not conventional. Nope. He'll just keep coming and coming, and he'll just maul poor little Floyd. That's what's going to happen. You watch.
Floyd going to clean him right on up. But it won't be a problem. He can wear 180, because there'll be 2 men paramedics to pick his ass up off the floor and Floyd knock him out. So we're not even worried about that. You be as heavy as you want to, Conor McGregor, but your day will come. Your day of reckoning, the moment, the crescendo, the zenith, the denouement, the apex. That's going to happen.
You sound like Don King.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
You do.
Because you know what's going to happen, Joe, at 10.
Oh, here we go.
I got to do my ancestry again. Because I don't believe I'm 1% hen dog. I think I'm at least 2.
It's called anesthesia. That's what you're going to have to take when this is over. You're going to need your henny hen for anesthesia. To drown your sorrow and your shock.
Skip.
Sometimes you just need...
We're going to get a $300 million payday, go to 50-0, because we already got that copyright. You know, we tried to copyright. We tried to trademark that. 50-0. 50.
See, here's your problem. Conor McGregor knows he cannot be knocked out by Floyd Mayweather Jr. He knows it, because Floyd can't punch, especially at 40. He couldn't punch it at 30.
Skip.
He couldn't.
It's them lightning punches that you don't see. Them What did Chop Chop Corley say? I like saying his name. DeMarcus Chop Chop. What did he say? He's like a snake. You can't kill him. He just keeps striking.
The sparring partner that Floyd paid to spar with him?
Hold on. Did he play Paulie Malignaggi?
Huh?
You make, oh.
I don't think he ever did pay him. That's the last I heard from Paulie. I didn't even get paid.
What about Zab Super Judah?
But what about him? Remember what he said? Floyd, trash talk. He's the greatest trash talker ever. He gets in your head. He does?
Yeah.
Conor already, he just like took Floyd's psyche right out of his head.
Ooh.
Yep,
Chop,
he's got
chop.
it. Here's Floyd's psyche in the palm of Conor's hand. He does. He's got him.
But here's the
He
thing.
talked him into 8-ounce gloves. Are you believing it?
The man has
believe
fought
it?
basically his entire career in 8-ounce gloves, with the exception of fighting Cotto, Mayweather, Canelo, not Mayweather, excuse me, Canelo, De La Hoya, Cotto. Maybe 3 or 4 fights he fought with 10-ounce gloves. Other than that, Skip, he's been fighting in 8-ounce gloves. So he loses no advantage. McGregor gains no advantage because he's used to fighting in 4-ounce gloves. They're foam gloves, not Mexican horsehair, the Reyes, the puncher's glove. So he gets no advantage. But here's the thing.
Well, why were you so afraid? For 2 weeks, you were afraid of 8-ounce gloves? You told me you were.
First of all, Skip, I wasn't going to be in the ring, so I'm not afraid of anything. But I'm going to have my gloves on set, my 16-ounce sparring winning gloves. I'm going to have those on set, let y'all. But anyway, Skip, as I was saying, it's going to go down, and Conor is not used to taking punches from a pure specialist, a guy that all he does is box. And the stance, because, you know, Conor got this old wide base, and he's going to be changing, he's going to be going from southpaw to orthodox, right? I get all that. And while he's doing that, Floyd going pop, 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 pop.
That's a good sound.
Yeah,
Pop
yeah.
gun. It's a pop gun.
Yeah, call it what you want to. Scare you, though.
It is, yep. That's what they sound like. It's mosquito bites.
Like, ooh.
Look, wait, did he hit me? I'm not sure
Yeah,
if
they
he
say
hit
you
me.
don't-
Maybe he hit me, but
And
I'm not sure.
then you go let it hit. Sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Here's the
My
point.
bloody joy.
I'm going to say this, and you will see this the night of August 26th. Floyd Mayweather has never been in the ring and faced this kind of punching power. I thought Pacquiao would be able to bring that kind of punching power because he had brought it before, but he tore his rotator cuff 3 weeks before the fight. They would not allow him to get a pain-killing injection on the night of the fight, something about paperwork. I don't know what it was. Floyd runs Las Vegas. You got to be careful when you're fighting Floyd on his home turf here. It's his rules, his ring, his judges. There's only one way to win. You got to knock him out.
You're not gonna knock him out. And Floyd, and like it, Pop said, he will be thoroughly whipped when the fight is over. And me and Pop's going to the Forum and Caesars and get us a nice suit too. Nice.
How did you get in on the suit bet?
It was my idea.
You're just hooking onto it?
I told
where
him,
that came
he's
from?
like, yeah, I want a better suit.
Got a suit.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a suit after the one he wore yesterday.
But you gonna need, Skip.
3.5 suits I get at Caesars.
When you
It's a
come in-
lot.
when you come
you know
in
what?
here that
Pops is
Monday-
going to have to hit up his son for a little change. here.
Skip, when you come in here on Monday,
Yep.
after Florida's just run through him, it's over. I say it's going to 9. It's over in 9.
He's
Florida
going to knock him out?
Born in 54, died in 63. What's that, Joy? Born in 54, died in 63. Round 9, it's over for Conor.
Died in 60.
Born in 54, died in 63. How many
Who
years
was
is
born
that?
in 54?
It's 9. That's
Okay.
9 years, right? Round 9.
9 rounds? Is this like an Ali kind of prediction? Okay.
It's going to happen.
And he hasn't knocked out anyone since 1999, but he's going to knock out a
Guess
guy
what?
who takes punches with 4-ounce gloves like they're nothing.
And guess what? In 10 years from now, we're going to say Floyd hadn't knocked anybody out since when? 2017, when he retired.
Okay, you're on the
knocked
record.
out Conor McGregor.
You're
All
on
right,
record.
we'll be
50-0.
in Vegas
Yeah.
next week, next Thursday and Friday, so come see us outside of T-Mobile Arena.
No mercy.
Our next guest is a 4-time world champion in 3 different weight classes. He fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. in 2010. Sugar Shane Mosley, welcome to Undisputed.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good to have you.
You're looking like you're in fighting shape there.
Yeah, you know, I keep myself in good shape. You know, I like to be nice and trim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in good company. That's all these guys talk about.
That's
We're
right.
just 18 days away from Mayweather McGregor. Do you give Conor any shot to win?
I don't give him a shot. Not even a shot.
I'm shocked.
Not even a shot. It's a totally different sport. It's kind of like the MMA and boxing is like a sprinter running against a long distance runner, and then a long distance runner running against a sprinter in their fields. it's
Okay,
not
so
gonna
how
work.
does it play out strategically? What do you see?
Strategically, I see Mayweather having a great time in there, smiling, laughing while McGregor's trying to hit him and find him. I see McGregor noticing how hard Mayweather hits, thinking that he doesn't hit that hard. Noticing how hard he hits. And when he gets hit by Mayweather, he's gonna be like, wow, this is different from UFC punching.
Really? Even
lot
though
different.
they wear 4-ounce gloves.
It doesn't, the gloves, and this is a misconception about people with the gloves. The gloves are only meant to protect the fighter's hand. It's not meant
To protect the fighter's jaw?
to protect the fighter's jaw. No, it's not. Back in the day, when fighters were fighting, the bare knuckles, they would hurt their hands, they would break their hands. And they had to find a way to keep the fighters fighting instead of slapping and hitting because their hands are broke. So they put hand wraps on first, and then they start with the gloves next, so they can punch harder and tear skin with leather.
Do I hear you predicting a Floyd knockout?
You know what? I think Floyd, if he wants to, can knock him out at least by the fourth, fifth round.
Oh, so you think he might not want to? He'll just toy with him for more rounds?
I think that he'll give the fans a show,
Okay.
and then he's going to be laughing all the way to the bank. But he's going to give him a show, and then he's going to knock him out. And that field, it was almost like when James Toney fought in the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Couture.
Randy Couture,
Yeah.
and James elected to try to grab him and try to grapple and all that stuff, try to beat him at his game, at his field, and he got choked out. When the guy came down, James could have easily hit him with the right hand, but he didn't. He wanted to show that he can beat him at his game, but he couldn't. It's the same thing with Conor trying to go into the boxing like that and show Mayweather that he can beat him in his field, which, I seen him, he sparred with Paulie, but I also seen him spar with another friend of mine that I spar with, I use for sparring, Chris Van Heerden. And Chris Van Heerden, it looked pretty easy how Chris was handling him. Very easy.
Shane,
Where did you see that?
I seen the video on tape. I seen the Chris Van Heerden video on tape. He showed me because he was one of my sparring partners.
Oh, okay. Did he have? Has that been public or?
No, we don't want to. No. We don't gonna show that because they didn't want nobody to fight. It didn't want nobody to come. No, we got to make you think you can fight because we got to get this 300 mil because we won't get
You
this.
see Paulie's head snap back?
Probably,
Well, I mean, with Paulie Malignaggi, he's a commentator now.
Yeah.
And and he's not really working out in the gym. Like I look like I'm in better shape than Paulie.
Yeah, you
I'll
look.
give you that.
Yeah, really.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if I was sparring Paulie, I'd probably do the same thing. Right now, I'm 45, so that doesn't equate to Floyd.
Paulie looked like he been eating crackers, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was.
Yeah,
I want to ask you this.
Kind of big.
What is it? Why is there a misconception that Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't punch hard?
The misconception is because he's fighting with real fighters that can take punch. I could take a great shot. The fighters that he's been in the ring with could take a great shot. But
By the way, you gave Floyd a pretty good shot, too.
You hit him. That's the flushest he's ever been hit.
I hit him the best he's ever been hit, but that's because he was, I believe he was underestimating my power. And when he got hit, he was like, oh, this is real. What they say is real. But anyway, Floyd did take the shot.
Right.
And I punched pretty hard. I had to.
Yeah, you had like 30 knockout at 135. You had the highest knockout rate of anybody in that weight class.
Yeah, I had all my title defenses were by knockout.
Right.
So I had 8 title defenses all by knockout, and then before I lost to Vernon Forrest, I was 38-0 with 35 knockouts.
Correct.
Right. So that means I had to knock everybody out.
You realize Floyd hasn't had a knockout since 1999. I'm talking about a KO knockout.
Yeah, but Floyd doesn't go after the knockout. Like I said, when I fought Floyd, at that time, his knockout punch his punch was as hard as I believe Canelo's. When I fought Canelo and I fought Floyd almost at the same time.
Yeah.
Both of their power felt the same to me. Now, Canelo hits harder now because he's bigger and he's young. You know, he's built up his man strength and everything. But back then, Canelo being bigger than Floyd hit about the same. Now, Floyd knocked out Ricky Hatton. He knocked out a few guys. You can't just run in on Floyd and expect that to...
him. Yeah, he didn't knock him out. Yeah.
Well,
He get technical.
Yeah, but he cracked, and he fell flat on his face, just like Pacquiao cracked him and he fell flat on his face.
We had Victor Ortiz sitting in your same seat, and Victor told us that he accidentally took a straight right from Floyd. How long ago was this? What was that year? 2012?
Yeah.
I think it was 2012.
Yeah.
So took a straight right, and he thought, that wasn't that much. So he said he let him hit him with another straight right and another 4 times, and decided he can't crack an egg. That's from Victor Ortiz, sitting right in your same chair.
Well, Victor Ortiz went down, and he didn't get back up.
He got sucker punched. He was apologizing to the referee.
But even if you get, okay, this is one thing about a fighter. Even if you get a sucker punch, if I see that shot, the only time I seen a shot like that was Manny Pacquiao when he knocked me down. But if I see a shot, you're not knocking me down with that shot.
But Shane, give me some, Shane. I've been trying to tell him. It's the punches you don't see that get you a...
Yeah, the punch you don't see is the one that's gonna knock you down.
God.
Now the one that you see.
But he's apologizing to the referee, and Floyd just cold cocks him. Twice.
No. He's not apologizing to the referee. He's apologizing to Floyd.
But he already apologized to Floyd. He tried to hug it out with him.
He hugged it out, and he apologized, and Floyd went like this, and they both, and then he cracked him.
Victor says Floyd cheap shotted him with the left hook that missed, and then he followed with the elbow across the eye.
I don't know if it was a cheap shot, because you have to say that, you know, Victor Ortiz cheap shotted him first with the headbutt. And
no. Again, the way Victor told it was he took the elbow across the eye, the trailing elbow.
He says when Floyd throws his punch, he leads, he catches, and then the elbow comes across the brow to cut you.
But he accused Floyd of a dirty tactic.
What Floyd does is Floyd will throw the left hook, and then he'll put the elbow under your chin so you won't duck down too low, and then he'll put your head down. So he's trying to get room so you don't oversmother him.
He caught Victor over the eye, and I think he cut his eye, and Victor admits he lost his poise, his cool, and his temper, and intentionally headbutted him over in that corner, and then stepped back and was like, what am I doing? And he tried to hug with Floyd, and then they go to the middle of the ring.
He did it like 2 or 3 times. I mean, I like Victor Ortiz. Victor Ortiz, he's a great guy.
Yes.
Victor Ortiz is a great guy. I like him. He messed up, and he should have been expecting something to come back because of what he did. And they stopped the fight, took point away from, he said, you know, I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry to the referee. And they went again to say he overly doing it. And Floyd, if
Floyd
he
just
gets you...
cold cocked him.
Yeah, I mean...
That's it. That's his only knockout KO since 1998. And that was a sucker punch.
Floyd is... Okay, I'm just going to say this. For a UFC guy throws his punches from here so he can kick you. He wants to be able to kick you and take you down. A fighter, that's all we do is we throw our punches the correct way, and we know how to throw it. Very hard.
You say shoot the shot. You say shoot the shot. Yeah.
It's just different. It's not none of this slapping and all that. It's none of that. It's like it's really putting a turn into it. And I mean, I punch harder than a lot of people, but Floyd does punch hard. Nobody's running in on Floyd and not get knocked out or knocked down or dazed or something. So
nobody.
Allow me to say, I have nothing but respect for this man. He has high character, and he was a hell of a fighter.
He was.
He could take and he could throw. But you are dealing from a position now of conventional boxing wisdom. And I think Floyd and you at this moment are up against a force that Floyd has never seen before.
I think he's seen all that.
Yeah, Conor McGregor has high combat IQ. He's a shrewd operator with high imagination and extreme punching power I don't think Floyd has ever experienced.
But that's only UFC.
Okay,
that's UFC fight. That's not boxing. It's different.
If you watched him exchange with Nate Diaz, my God,
but Nate Diaz
rocked him.
But Nate Diaz can hit it like Floyd can hit. It's just not the same thing. Like, they don't punch, like, maybe he can kick and take down and choke you out.
We're not going to do that.
But there's none of that going on. So they don't punch, that's why the MMA guys, all of them try to go to boxing and try to learn how to strike. They try to learn their striking skills. They try to because the fighters know how to punch for real. This is what we do for years. We've been doing this. I've been fighting for 37
I know,
years.
it's your whole life. I got it.
Mayweather's been fighting since he was 6 years old.
It offends you just the prospect of this. Like, you just can't even let it go in your head.
No, because I've been in the ring with UFC guys, and I spar with them, and they felt like I was sparring with somebody off the street. Like, that didn't even know how to do it. It was so easy. It was so easy for me. It was ridiculous. Easy. And the guy was maybe like 180 or something, 190, and it was so easy to me to hit this guy.
This is a bad man you're talking about here.
I know, but the guy was
this is the best
pretty
striker.
Good.
Skip.
In UFC. He's the best striker in UFC.
He is.
Skip. You remember the movie White Man Can't Jump? When Sidney Dean said, it's too easy. That's too doggone easy.
If Floyd is not smiling while he's picking him apart.
Picking him apart?
Yeah.
If he's not smiling, then I'm gonna be hurt.
Will he be smiling through the blood?
Skip.
Okay.
But see, fighters are not afraid of blood. Fighters aren't afraid of blood or bleeding or getting cut. That's something that, I mean, he's been cut, he's been dazed, he's been all that, and he's fought.
Floyd hadn't been cut very much.
Floyd's fought the heavy hitter. He fought Canelo. He fought Cotto,
De La Hoya.
Wait
a second.
I mean, he fought
Canelo was a baby, and you were getting near the end of the line.
That's true. And so was Oscar.
Oscar.
But I still hit pretty hard, though. I mean, I've just had a fight, I think I was 44, 43, and I fought David Vison, and I know that I rocked him, and this was a young guy, and I still punched pretty hard, you know. I still did pretty good for myself, but it's good. It's good.
40 years old, and he's not as big as this man, or as long, or as strong.
He looks as big as up to me right there in that picture right there.
That was when he was wearing the lifts.
He wasn't never in no.
He was too.
No mercy. Malcolm Jenkins raised his fist during the national anthem before the Eagles game last night, the same way he did last season. But this time, his teammate Chris Long stood next to him with his arm on his shoulder. Long grew up in Charlottesville and went to school at the University of Virginia. Let's take a listen to Long after the game.
It was a hard week for everybody. I think it's not just a hard week for somebody being from Charlottesville. It was a tough week for America. And like, really, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, you need white athletes to get involved in the anthem protest. I've said before, I'll never kneel for an anthem because the flag means something different to everybody in this country. But I support my peers, and if you don't see why you need allies for people that are fighting for equality right now, I don't think you'll ever see it. So, you know, my thing is this, you know, Malcolm's a leader, and I'm here to show support as a white athlete.
Shannon, you said it would make a difference if white players join the protest. Will more white players join after seeing Chris Long's support last night?
I think so. Sometimes when the wagon is on the top of the hill, all it needs is one push. And maybe Chris Long is that white athlete that got this started, and others will join. Because he said something very interesting, and I don't think we got that in. It says sports is like a brotherhood. He said, I wish the rest of the world could be on a team. I know it sounds kind of cliche-ish, but I really being exposed to others' different cultures, different ways of life, and way to look at different things. For a moment, now, let's give you a backdrop of Chris Long. He's very socially active. He's very socially conscious. He was one of the first players, be it white or black, that said he would not be attending the White House if the Patriots were to go. He said he wouldn't go. He has a foundation called Water Boys where they go in East Africa and African countries and dig for wells and give the villagers fresh well water. So to have a backdrop, he has a very good understanding of his social responsibility as an American, and he wants to be thought of as more than a professional athlete. Skip, for Chris, you know, the cliche or the adage, this was brought to his living room. Well, it really was. He's from Charlottesville. He went to school in Charlottesville, and he had an opportunity to see.
He went to high school and college.
Yes, his dad, who is Howie Long, who works for us here along with us at Fox. And Chris had an opportunity to say, hold on, you know what? Now, we might be fighting for something different, but I see this now. because I saw these Americans come to Charlottesville and were chanting things that I'm not comfortable with, that there's no place for this in our society. In a civilized country, you want us to go back to where we were before?
Yep.
It's not great now, but it was much worse back then. And he says, you know what? For once, man, when I saw that last night, Skip, I was honestly, sincerely touched. Because for a white guy to step outside of his comfort zone and to say, you know what, bruh? We are bruh. Because we talk about as football players, and I'm very fortunate, and I said this before, to play 14 years, and you hear the term, I'm rallying for my brother. Be it something seriously happened to him or something happened to a family member. Maybe there was death in the family. Maybe there was something tragic. But what will athletes say? I'm rallying for my brother. Chris Long put his arms around Malcolm Jenkins as Malcolm Jenkins raised his fist and says, I'm rallying for my brother. If you remember in 9/11, Skip, that they postponed it right after that Sunday, but the following week, a lot of players came out there waving the American flag. All the teams linked arm in arm.
Yep.
Because that was America. Some foreign entity had attacked us. But see what's happening here. Cancer is a disease that attacks its own body. This is America on an American. This is police brutality.
Yep.
The killing of unarmed black men and women at the hands of the police. The police are there to protect and serve. So this is truly a cancer. This is American on American. And Chris Long says, man, hey, what you guys are fighting for, after what I saw, bro, I'm with you. I want to fight. I want to be a part of this. And I'm so glad that Chris Long could do this. But if you would have polled me and asked who would be the first guy, he'd probably been on the short list. He'd probably been number one. He'd probably been number one because if you I follow him on Twitter, and he does not hesitate to engage when people step out of line or say something that he doesn't agree with.
Yep.
He has no problem. He is not just an athlete. And when they say stick to football or stick to sports, no. Not that young man.
Okay.
His mom and dad did a great job of raising him, and he's a quality young man. And I'm glad that he put his arm around Malcolm Jenkins and said, bruh, I'm with you.
Again, of the Patriots who went to the White House, it was 34 went and 34 did not. And he was the first one, as you point out, up front, nope, I'm not going. And the 34 who went were split 50-50 black-white. But he was a white guy, and he's never made a secret, I'm a white guy, I'm not going to go.
Right.
And in this case, what he said, what we just had the privilege of, again, hearing him say, was powerful.
Yes.
It was insightful. It was passionate. He spoke with real, convincing conviction. But unfortunately, he's not Drew Brees. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. And that would be the next big step. If one of those quarterbacks, Eli, Big Ben, some quarterback would step up and speak out just like that. I'm not as concerned about the deed as I am about the word. I need the words.
Right.
That's why, you know, what he did was well thought out. It took a lot of forethought because he made it clear, I'm never going to kneel for the anthem. So he had to think through, how can I do this? How can I show my support? I'll just put my arm around him.
Right.
He can raise his fist, but I'm going to put my arm around him. That's beautiful, man.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's a powerful image, but he really backed it up with what he said.
Correct.
And then I only wished when I saw it last night, you know, Chris Long was the second overall pick in the draft and has had a good career, not a great career. Wound up with New England, he'd win a ring last year, but now he's at Philly and they didn't give him a whole lot of money, $1.5 million guaranteed.
Right.
Kirk Cousins making $44 million over 2 years. You know, like, it's not like he got a boatload of money.
No.
You could argue he's kind of nearing the end of his career. But I thought about his father, the great Howie Long, and I thought about, it's too bad this wasn't the middle of the 80s maybe, because Howie Long, for our younger viewers who don't remember him as a football player, he was something. Yeah. He's one of your teammates in the Hall of Fame.
He was a Hellraiser, Skip. I played against him for 4 years when he was with the Raiders, and a true story. We played them in '93, the last game of the season, Skip, and I hit him up. For the division. If we won, They were gonna be the wild card. They'd have to come to Denver. They won. We were gonna have to go back to them to Oakland. So we played them. I hit them up for $120, 2 tubs. Went back to.
How do you remember?
Skip, hold on. I'm trying. Let me tell the story about how.
Wait, DJ, do we have a track?
No, we got it. And then I went back out for the wild card game, hit them up for another 13 for $1.56 on the tub. 13 catches.
How did we get here?
I'm just trying to tell you about his dad.
Okay.
And so we're walking off the field after those back-to-back weeks where I cooked him. He tells me, hey, you're a heck of a ball player, but you're not nearly as good as your brother. And I just bust out. I just started, and he told me that, and we're walking off the field.
Is that like the punchline, like there's a dot?
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, I just cooked y'all back-to-back weeks, and you talking about my brother? But,
well, it's true. I mean,
yeah, it was true, but I just thought that was funny. Skip, and this, if I had to guess, if something like this were to happen, I could see his father, because his father was a heck of a player, and one of his best friends, I think, was Greg Townsend, and Greg was another heck of a ball player that played opposite of Howie. But Skip, for him to do that, and sure, it would be nice if Tom Brady or some of these other guys, but I'll take Chris Long. I will take somebody, and I don't want it for just for show, because see, this guy is not for show.
It was not for show.
He did it, and sincerely down in his heart, he's willing to say,
even though it literally hit home to him.
Yes,
it was his home.
Yes,
but still.
Yes,
it was powerful, because he made no bones about. A couple times he said, as a white athlete, he wanted it clear.
Right.
I'm going to throw what weight I have behind my and I liked what he said about, I'll never kneel, but I will support my peers fighting for equality. My peers.
Yes.
Okay? Well,
that's it.
Beautiful.
And that's all we were asking. And it's going to take that, because I believe, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more today, Skip, is that a lot of people thought Colin Kaepernick was going to be a fad. It was going to be like in the pet rock or the chia pet. But here we are a year later, and Colin Kaepernick is very much in our lexicon. He's very much still talked about. And eventually, there are going to be enough of those white players, those white athletes, and enough of white people are going to get on board that it's going to change policy. It's going to change how the police and law enforcement interact with people of color and minorities in this country. And that's all Colin Kaepernick ever hoped for. Now, you can say he wanted social Facebook likes and mentions and Twitter followers.
Okay.
But I believe it was bigger than that. Skip, sometimes you don't know when you have this epiphany or you have this awakening, and you say, you know what? I have a bigger purpose. I have a higher calling than to throw touchdowns or help get a team to the Super Bowl.
I agree.
So whatever moment that was for Colin Kaepernick, it happened. I'm glad that it happened, and I'm glad that he's bringing attention to a serious issue. And I do believe it will have, and Colin Kaepernick will be, history will look favorably upon Colin Kaepernick, not for what he did on the football field, but for the changes that he helped bring about in America.
Totally agree. I told you yesterday, sitting right here, I feel like he's already gone down in history, Colin Kaepernick.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's Dr. King, but he had impact.
Yes.
And it's going to be very sad if he sacrificed his career for that impact, but he's having it. And I don't know whether it was for likes or not. I'm just saying he had impact.
Right.
I don't even know how intentional the impact was. I think it started as a little thing, and it became a huge thing because he opened a lot of eyes and ears, I believe, in the white community.
Yes.
I'm just saying this. I have a small sample size on this, but to racial injustice and inequality.
Right.
He did.
Right.
He made everybody think about it, talk about it, disagree with it, or agree with it. We talk about Colin Kaepernick every day. Like, don't we talk? Since we opened on September, we're almost a year on this show. September 6th. We talked about Colin Kaepernick on September 6th, and rarely has a day passed that we haven't talked about him. He's going down in history, to me, as someone who forced change through protest, which you always talk about is what this country was built on.
And
it's got uncomfortable as it's making everybody.
Protest is meant to be uncomfortable, and it's meant to come with consequences. Because if you're not willing to suffer the consequences for the uncomfortableness and the attention that you try to gain, why are you doing it? Dr. King, you don't think Dr. King knew that he was putting his life at risk? You don't think those men and women that marched with Dr. King, the freedom fighter, because everybody couldn't do that, Skip. A lot of people wanted to march, but they said, Dr. King, I can't march with you because if somebody spit on me, if somebody pours syrup on me, if somebody does something to me, I'm going to have to lash out, and it's gonna cause irreparable harm to your movement.
Yep.
So a lot of people might have protested in their own personal way. Yep. This isn't for everybody. But for Skip, or for him to take that, and like you said, it might be. But you know what I'm starting to see, Skip? I jump on my, and I'm heavily involved in social media. I see, and then people like, I saw a guy last night with a Kaepernick jersey in Jacksonville. They see Blake Bortles, they see Henne, they see Ryan Mallett. They like Colin Kaepernick better than them. I might not like what he did, but he's better than those guys, and they got jobs.
Well, we know that it's not about him being better now. We're way past that. It took a lot of courage for.
By the way, was that a white guy?
No.
That you saw?
Wearing the jersey? No.
Okay.
No.
I was hoping it was a white guy. I was thinking maybe the door opened.
But I'm trying to figure out, how did you get a 7 Kaepernick Jacksonville jersey? I guess NFLshop.com, you get whatever you
still
want.
Make it. It took a lot of courage for Chris Long to do that.
No mercy.
To the NBA now, Kevin Durant won his first title and was named Finals MVP in June. The Warriors have not been given the customary invitation to the White House yet, but don't expect Durant to be there if they do get invited. When asked if he would go to the White House, Durant said, "No, I won't do that. I don't respect who's in office right now. I don't agree with what he agrees with, so my voice is going to be heard by not doing that. That's just me personally, but if I know my guys well enough, they'll all agree with me." Shannon, what are your thoughts?
I'm not surprised that Kevin Durant said this. Skip, the presidency is an institution. And normally the people that occupy that residency are to be respected. But it's hard to respect the man that occupies that space when he doesn't respect the presidency itself, by what he says, by what he tweets, and his actions. You see, Skip, as an African American, we hold people that do things in our community for the first time or in a long time, we hold them sacred. That's why Venus and Serena, they're sacred to us. The Simone Biles, Simone Manuel, the first African-American swimmer to win an individual gold in swimming.
Yep.
She's sacred. Tiger Woods was like that to us until he said, I resent the fact of being labeled African-American. And then we had to, okay, well, you go on about yourself, Tiger, but you'll be back sooner or later, you'll be back. But we'll talk about that another day. Skip, President Obama occupied that residency. I remember growing up in the mid-'70s, and my grandfather told me, he said, boy, you can be anything. He said, but you'll never be president because they're not letting a black man in the White House. There's a lot of black men and women my age that heard that very story. So when you are openly and blatantly disrespectful of him, you turn a lot of African Americans off, you turn a lot of people off. Skip, not only did President Trump, he didn't start it, but he continually and perpetuated the birther issue, that President Obama was not African, that he was not born in the States. He kept it going. He wouldn't let it go. There was something that happened in New York called the Central Park Five. There were 5 black young men that was wrongly charged with a rape. Now, he took out a full-page ad, said they should get the death penalty, even though as the evidence came back that they were not guilty and the charges were dropped, he still continued that. So he's turned off a lot of African Americans. And a lot of African Americans look like this is nothing but a photo op. Because trust me, although I didn't go the 3 times I could have gone, they tell you what you can and can't say to the president. Yep. They tell you what you can and can't ask the president. So you're not going there to talk policy. You're going there for a photo op. So if you want to be taken advantage, and look, if your goal was as an athlete or whomever get the opportunity to say, I took a picture with the president in the White House, by all means, go for it. But if you think it's going to help your cause, whatever you're fighting for, maybe you're not fighting for anything and it's just, hey, a great opportunity. I went to the White House. But a lot of black Americans realize what we're fighting for and what we're fighting against. And what we're fighting for, he's fighting against. All you have to do, see, Skip, they say act. All you have to do is just listen. If you listen long enough to a person, he'll tell you who he is. President Trump is 70 years old, Skip. He just didn't get like this yesterday. He didn't get like this when he got to office. He's always been like this. And Kevin Durant says, no, I'm not going to be a part of it. He's not. Now, there are going to be some African Americans that say, hey, I'm going with my team. We accomplished this as a team. I want to be a part of this. But you're not going there to be able to talk to President Trump, to say, President Trump, what I thought you said about this was wrong.
Yep.
I think we need help in our communities, and let me tell you, let me offer some advice how I think you can do it. That's not going to happen. So I commend Kevin Durant by saying that, no, I'm not going there. Now, I don't know if I'd have used I don't F with him. I wouldn't have used that harsh a term, but it's hard to respect the man, Skip, that doesn't respect the office that he holds, and the man that preceded him in office, he's been openly and blatantly disrespectful to him.
Yes.
And we hold President Obama, most black Americans, not all, because there's some that's out on him too, but there are a lot of African Americans that hold President Obama to the highest regard because he became something that no one thought he could ever become.
Yep.
And so, with that being said, I'm not surprised that Kevin Durant's not going. I'm not surprised that the language, now I don't know if I would use, I'd probably say I don't mess with him, because I don't, but some of the things that he said, it makes it very, very hard that if you're a minority, especially a person of color, to endorse or co-sign or want to be seen with President Trump.
Okay, to your one point that you made, if an African-American player just wants to go to the White House, no matter who's occupying it, just to say, I went to the White House, I got no problem with that.
No.
I don't think you would either.
No.
But it looks like that the obvious day or date for the Warriors to attend a White House session would be not until February 27th. That would be their off day before a 28th game at Washington against the Wizards. So wouldn't that be the obvious time?
Yes.
And no invitation has yet been issued. Maybe it's too early. But again, I'm not as political as you are, but could work itself out because from all I read and hear, President Trump might not be president at that point. It's possible. I'm just throwing that out.
He might not be president, and he might not invite them, Skip, because the one thing we know about him, now you talk about petty, he king petty. We got queen petty, but I'm talking about he king. So he takes slights, and he knows what.
To Kevin's point, he said, if I know my brothers on this team, I think everybody's going to be with me on this. So if President Trump is still in office at that point, would he risk the sort of humiliation of issuing an invitation that was declined?
No, I don't think. I can see him because there's always going to be a sports team that's going to go, be it college or professional. Because hey, I guess people, you can look at it and say, wow, I'm going to take a photo out with the president. But if you are a person and you have some sincere concerns about what's going on in your community, be it black, white, Asian, Hispanic, or whatever, the LBG, whatever, and you want to go and say, I get an opportunity to go, stand next to the president, maybe I can whisper in his ear, Skip, that's not happening. It is a photo op. And for there are a lot of African Americans, when he first, he got elected in January, they were going in and out, he was up there, giving his smile, and everybody was keying. I haven't seen not one black in the last 7 months on camera with him. Now, Dr. Carson, Ben Carson, doesn't count because he's in his cabinet. Omarosa, well, we know. But anyway, I'm talking, Joy, I'm like that. But you haven't seen, he's going to be so good. Why not give him a chance? And he said, what do you have to lose? People of color, what do you have to lose? Besides my dignity? Besides my self-respect? Besides health care? My civil rights? Really nothing. Besides, who need all those things anyway? I'm not surprised that Kevin Durant said this. I would not be surprised if more.
I wouldn't either.
Professional athletes, because it's coming to a point that we're seeing, and I think the tide is changing. Skip, maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe him being in office heightened what a lot of people of color already knew. But him standing from the tallest pulpit and having the loudest microphone, he's able to speak things, and people are like, hold on, did he just say what I thought he said? Did he just say that both sides were at fault in Charlottesville? Is he refusing to condemn those people that did that? So hold on, it's not just my imagination. He's with them, he's not for the betterment. And what President Trump needs to understand, Skip, is that he's president of the United States, not just his base, not just those devout devotees. I saw a monument poll that said 61% of the people said there's nothing that President Trump could do to make them change their mind about him. But there's also 57% that says there's nothing he can do that make them think positive about him. So 53% of the population has their mind made up where they are with President Trump.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to just plunge on this because this is my 2 cents from a distance. And again, I'm not as political as you are, so I don't study it. But I told you this in your dressing room before the show. This is my big picture takeaway, that there is one silver lining to the Trump administration. This is just a gut feeling I have, is that the backlash from it and the resulting focus on racial inequality and injustice in this country has helped to even further unite and inspire the black community. It's pulled everyone even more together, right? If there's any silver lining here, and I still believe that all of this backlash has opened the eyes and ears of some white people to at least acknowledge, even if they reject, but to acknowledge and to think about, gee, we do have some racial issues facing this country that we hadn't really thought about. And all of a sudden, Civil War statues are coming down. Why didn't they come down 2 years ago or 8 years ago or what, right?
Because most of them were erected at the turn of the century, long after the Civil War was fought. But Skip.
I got it, but this is all good. It's like everything's going now for because it got sparked by Colin Kaepernick, right? And Donald Trump.
But the thing was, it was his comments about what transpired that all of a sudden the whites are starting to see what a lot of blacks have seen for the very longest time.
You're correct about that. I'm with you.
Yeah, well, Charlottesville definitely opened the eyes of a bunch of people. That's a very tough thing to watch and ignore. No mercy. The Cowboys' playoff odds have gotten worse since Ezekiel Elliott's suspension. According to sportsbettingdime.com, the Cowboys now have the 5th best odds to make the playoffs in the NFC behind the Packers, Seahawks, Giants, and Falcons. Last year, Dallas had the best record in the NFC. Skip, what's your reaction?
You know what? You're falling into the same trap everybody else is falling into. Right now, the NFL world is missing the point and missing the boat, as in Super Bowl boat, on my Dallas Cowboys. The blueprint was presented last year by one New England. What did we see from Tom Brady and company last year? What happened? Let me refresh your memory. What happened was that no team was better suited, better prepared to withstand a 4-game loss of the best quarterback in football than the New England Patriots, because they had Jimmy Garoppolo, number 2.
Yes.
But they also had Jacoby Brissett, who's not a bad number 3. So they had a 2 and a 3.
Okay.
And what happened? Garoppolo went right out on opening night, and he beat Arizona at Arizona, right?
Yep.
Then he came back and put up a 21-0 lead on your Dolphins in New England, unfortunately, and he got hurt. But guess who got him home in that game? Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
And then Brissett started game number 3 against Houston, again at New England, and they won handily. They won 27-0 with Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
And then it didn't really matter that Jacoby had a kind of a rookie, quote-unquote, outing. The next time we had Rob Ryan on as a linebacker. I guess he was the linebacker coach, or was he the coordinator? He was the coordinator, yeah. Of Rex. I always think of Rex as the coordinator, but whatever. They were sort of joint coordinators. But they did a number on Jacoby in 16-0 Buffalo at New England. But it didn't matter because they went 3-1. And then what happened? Mr. Brady came back with a vengeance to wreak havoc and gain revenge on one Roger Goodell for trying to ruin his career. And he forced Roger Goodell to hand the Patriots the Super Bowl trophy and to shake Tom Brady's hands at the Super Bowl in Houston, right? That's the blueprint for what we're about to see happen, because I'm pretty sure, no matter what you think and I think, or we think, I think Zeke is going to be gone for 6 games. I don't know how you can back off. Once you've dropped that gavel on 6 games, it's domestic violence. You got to stick there. Now, will Jerry sue? Could he get an injunction? I have no idea. But let's just say it's 6 games. What team is better prepared and better suited to overcome the loss of, I think, the best back in football than my Dallas Cowboys? Help me out here. I think I see a quote-unquote Garoppolo and Brissett. I see him behind Zeke. I see a Darren McFadden who's had 2,000-yard rushing years in his career. 2. And then, wait a second, the third string back, Alfred Morris, has had 3 1,000-yard rushing years. And both are pretty fresh right now because they didn't get a whole lot of work last year because Zeke led the league in rushing. So I think my offensive line will be even better. Some people think it'd be worse. Ronald Leary went to Denver, but Lyle Collins moves to right tackle, and all of a sudden you got 4 horsemen, man. You got 4 studs in the offensive line. So I think it's even better. And I keep telling you, Ryan Switzer's going to be a factor. He's a new little toy for Dak Prescott. So you got 2 little slot receivers who are virtually uncoverable. And then what have I been telling you? Thank you, God. The heavens opened. Rico Gathers fell out of heaven into our laps. He's going to be a factor. He is. You say Jason Witten can't run.
You just like saying Rico.
Rico Gathers, Rico Gathers, Rico. I love that name. Rico gathers in another touchdown, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's another weapon for a guy in Dak Prescott who, you don't get this, but he changed the whole culture last year. He was the quarterback for a team that won 11 straight games because the Cowboy mentality went from what can go wrong will go wrong to, hey, whatever's going to go right, we'll make it go right. It was even in the playoff game. It was 28 all and 31 all thanks to Dak Prescott, who threw for 300 yards in his first playoff game.
That's it?
That's it?
Aaron Rodgers had 384.
Oh, God.
Hey,
he's a rookie, a 4th-round pick out of Mississippi
No,
State.
you say you've never seen anybody say he's mature way beyond his years.
Well, he is. He's now a grizzled veteran. And you watch what he does this year, he's going to be an MVP candidate. I'm not going to predict he's going to win it, but he will be in the mix all the way home because he nearly led the league in QBR last year as a rookie. And this defense is not getting nearly enough credit. Taco Charlton's going to be a force. I'm telling you, he'll have 5 or 6 sacks. He'll always disrupt. He just makes things happen. He always did at Michigan. He always will for this defense. Rod Marinelli is the best coordinator in football. They were the 5th best defense in football in points allowed last year. Do you think they're really going to take a step back? I don't.
I do.
They will not. These kids will all. Watch Jordan Lewis. Watch how he contributes as a zone corner. They stole him in the 3rd round. Just watch.
Skip, I wish it was something I can make you feel to make you feel better. But there's.
I don't need to feel better.
Yeah,
I feel great.
And who am I to argue with Vegas? I've never built a $2 billion business with losers' money. They said they're the 5th best team. There's a reason why they keep erecting $2 billion and $3 billion structures out in Vegas. How are they doing that? With winners' monies? Because they got guys like Skip Bayless that's going to bet on the Cowboys no matter what. And it's like, cha-ching, another slot machine. Cha-ching, another blackjack table.
I don't bet. I just bet my pride on this show.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want.
And I bet my pride.
That's what I want.
Week after week after week after week after week last year, and you had to keep coming in here and sweating.
That's what I like, George. That's what I like.
You had to say, turn up the air conditioner.
And people
sweating.
like, why do you bet
My
Skip?
seat's getting hotter and hotter.
They like
Please
you
turn up the air.
They be on social media. They be saying, I don't ever see you and Skip. The best don't ever change hands. I said, I just bet the look on his face. You see that right there?
You wheeled in on my birthday a whole case of dew.
And I had to take it back because you talking crazy, talking about Nick Saban and all. I don't know what's wrong with you, Skip. All I'm saying is that the odds makers. Now, you love Vegas. Now, the other day, like 2 weeks ago when the odds makers, Vegas, had the Cowboys, they said the Cowboys are going to win 11 games. They said the Giants are going to win 8.6 games. I don't know how they got 8.6, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. Oh, you was loving them then. Now,
they had it right. They had it right, but the loss of Zeke, all of a sudden they tumble. They tumbled.
They had, as in past tense, right?
You are so afraid.
What about
You're afraid of 2 things right now, Conor McGregor and Dak Prescott.
But you also said something very interesting. You mentioned the New England Patriots and how they were so equipped.
Blueprint. You saw it.
KRS had a blueprint, so did Jay-Z. But that's not, that's those, okay. The Cowboys, does Bill Belichick, a.k.a. GOAT coach, does he coach for the Patriots or the Cowboys?
Rod Marinelli coaches for the Cowboys.
Okay, so the best defensive coordinator of all time is one Bill Belichick. He coaches for the Patriots. Okay, Matt Patricia, he's like a scientist or something. He's like a brilliant,
He's got that pencil by him.
Yeah, but I'm saying, he got a degree in like some kind of like astrophysics or nuclear physics or something. He's like really, really smart. I'm talking about really smart. I'm talking about like Shannon Sharpe smart. Not Skip Bayless smart, Shannon Sharpe smart. Does he coach for the Patriots or does he coach for the Cowboys?
What'd your researcher tell you?
I ain't got no research. I ain't have no research.
I thought you had a degree in eligibility anyway.
I did. Joey, stop telling. And I graduated with honors.
That's hard.
I graduated magna cum laude.
Yeah, that's what you said.
No, I graduated thank you laude.
Like a laude, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So which one? Oh, look, Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, New England Patriots.
Yep.
So are you saying Jason Garrett and Rob Marinelli or Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia? Is that what you said?
No, how did you throw Jason Garrett into that?
Because he's the head coach.
Yeah, but Bill doesn't coach the offense.
Bill coached everything.
He does not coach
Bill
the
Sharpe cooked everything.
Tom Brady coaches
Don't
the
do that,
offense.
Skip. Don't do that, Skip. So, well, okay.
Josh McDaniels is the coordinator, and Tom Brady is the real coordinator.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep.
So when he was away, I saw him. He was in Italy one day, and he was jumping off in the water another day. So how was he coaching when they went 3-1? So how was he coaching from Italy in New England? What about in 2000?
Because he established the system whereby he prepared those kids for what was about to happen. He was around through the whole training camp. Zeke is going to be around through the whole training camp also. So he'll be ready after 6 games. He'll be fresh.
What we know from the Patriots is that they had gone through something like this before. In 2008, when Tom Brady tore his knee in the first game, they went 11-5 without him. So this team was well-equipped. Coach Belichick is the best situational. He's the best coach, but his best attribute or his expertise is in situation football. Situational. What are they going to do here? What are we going to do here? Nobody prepares his team. The mere fact that you actually think that you even mention the Cowboys and the Patriots in the same breath.
Same blueprint.
They not even got the same colors. One's red, the other's blue.
What's going to happen?
One should be America's team.
6 games. What's going to happen? This team is going to reunite behind Ezekiel's return to get even with Roger Goodell for condemning Zeke, and as you said yesterday, tainting his reputation without conclusive proof. It's Brady all over. It's Deflategate all over again.
No, it's not.
You know it's coming. Just wait for the groundswell of after 6 games. I'm being conservative, arch-conservative, 3-3, and then they will take off on a Super Bowl roll.
Skip.
You watch.
The difference is the Patriots won Super Bowl 49. They lost in the championship game in order to get back to Super Bowl 50. When was the last time the Cowboys been in the championship game?
I just told you, blueprint.
I mean,
a lot of building blocks were set last year. They put some new cornerstones in place, especially at quarterback. If Tony Romo were still the quarterback, I'd be saying, I don't know, because you knew he wouldn't last long anyway.
Joy was 6 the last time the Cowboys. She's sitting up here with us. She was 6. Talk about the teacher
She's only
sketchy.
like 22 now, right?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Skip, for you to even talk, first of all, when we talk about the Patriots, we should just talk about them. No other team should be mentioned with the Patriots. Okay. Now, if you want to talk about some other teams, you do it. Now, I'm not talking about, we talk about the Cowboys. We talk about Cowboys over here.
Deal with my premise. Is it not eerily reminiscent of the same blueprint?
No. Skip,
it is.
It's Coach Belichick.
It's Coach Marinelli. Do you think he's chopped liver? I think he's really good at what he does. Really
Chopped
good.
liver, maybe stir fry.
He is not stir fry. You know what? How did he do that with mirrors last year? You kept telling me how bad the defense is. They were 5th in the league in points allowed. Is that not coordinator of the year?
No. Here's the thing, though, Skip. The mark of any good or great team, can you get done what you need to get done when you have to? When they needed to stop, when they needed to keep Aaron Rodgers out of field goal range, could they do it? See, what makes Tom Brady?
He's the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the world. That's what you told me.
No.
So he made one throw.
I'm saying when
and it took 2 kicks to win the game.
When you look at Tom, when he absolutely had to make a throw, he made a throw. When the Patriots absolutely need to make a stop, they can make a stop. When the Cowboys needed to get a stop on 3rd down, Aaron Rodgers hit the dash, pirouette, did like this here.
They were in prevent defense.
They were prevent. You saw it?
I didn't see nothing.
He was wide open at the boundary.
He wasn't wide open, Skip.
He was too. Byron Jones was lost. Didn't even see him.
You said Byron Jones is going to start for him.
He's going to start. Hey, he's a player.
Hold on. You just ripped the man talking about he was lost.
They're in prevent. Go look at the tape. They got like 4 DBs back at the 20-yard line. just watching it unfold like, oh.
Skip, you can't run through zones. You can't, because if he runs through the zone, now he leaves that vacancy open. They still had a timeout, Skip.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back at the same time Monday morning, 9:30 Eastern. Have a great weekend.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.